What's going on, guys? It's your boy Robbie Miles back at you. And I'm talking to you guys today about the Hellhouse LLC box set. My thoughts. I've officially watched the first three movies. I've read the book. And this is up for one of my releases of the year. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it because I don't want to just give out those awards without doing videos on them. Now, I did a video on the first one after I watched it because I had never seen any of them before. And if you know nothing about these movies at all, check this out.
I think we're next. Go back up! Go back up! Hurry! Hurry!
I gotta be honest with you guys, like just watching that footage from the first one, it like tweaks me out so hard. The first one fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I watched it alone at night with the lights off. It was like a Saturday night, and I couldn't fall asleep. I legitimately could not fall asleep. I did a video on the first one right after I watched it, but it was fucking terrifying. Like truly, the first one is like for a long time, like people ask me like what movie actually scared you, and it's always Creep. My answer is always Creep. And that movie scares me because it's real. Like fictional stuff doesn't really always scare me, but the first one fucked me up so hard. The clowns, dude. Oh my god. But anyway, so there's a little clip from the first one, from the original Hell House LLC. Now the box set that I'm talking to you guys today about is talking about with you guys today is from Umbrella Entertainment. It is a beautiful slipcover edition. It holds all four movies: Hell House 1, 2, 3, and Hell House Origins, which I have not watched yet. So I haven't watched yet. It's got a beautiful hardbound book, but this is not an unboxing. I'm sure you guys have heard of this set at this point, and it is in my running for release of the year, and I have a lot of reasons why. You see the artwork on the back there, but definitely check out my video on the first one because I do a deep dive on the first one because I was just so impressed with that movie when I watched it, and I had to come on here and share with you guys. Definitely check that out. But today I'm giving you guys a whole kind of holistic overview on the whole set because I've now had a chance to watch not just the first one, but the second one and the third one. I haven't watched the fourth one yet, but I'm definitely going to. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely on break. I'm on break right now, guys. I'm off for the next 11 days or so, and so I'm hitting the movies hard. Hitting the videos hard and all that good stuff. But anyway, so Hell House LLC is a beautiful box set. This is from Umbrella Entertainment, who does phenomenal work. Now, this is a Australian-based company. This is sold out, unfortunately. But if you do happen to get it secondhand, or whatever the case might be, or if you get, I think there's a standard edition out. These movies are labeled as Region B, but I believe, to my understanding, what I've heard is that they play in any player. They're just like legally labeled Region B. I don't know. Don't take my word for it, but that's my understanding. I have a Region 3 player. But anyway, so Hell House LLC, the original came out in 2015, guys, and this is not just simply found footage. It's just not. I can't even stress it enough. It's found footage, but it's also haunted house movies, and I think they hit something. They struck a chord with me because it's that kind of a hybrid kind of thing. It's not just one or the other. It separates itself really from Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity and all those because it really is kind of both. It's a haunted house movie and it's a found footage movie. But anyway, so the original came out in 2015. Okay, so listen to the other horror movies that came out in 2015, just to give you guys a little sense of the time period. So it's almost 10 years ago at this point, which is, in my opinion, still considered recent horror. 10 years ago is still modern horror. So listen, anything where an iPhone was out, I still consider modern horror. You had Crimson Peak, Guillermo del Toro. You had Devil's Candy with Ethan Embry, fun little movie. You had Final Girls, which I loved. You had the Goosebumps movie, which was fine. It was fine, but I'm a Goosebumps, perfectionist, and it was just okay. It's way better than the shitty ass show that came out last year. And the shitty ass show is going to be dropping in January. I people are like hitting me up and they're like, dude, you ready for the show? I'm like, no, I'm not. It's going to be terrible. Stop getting my hopes up. It's not going to be good. The first one was terrible. And like, stop. I'm so depressed about how bad the first one was. It's not a hard concept. I'm going off on a Goosebumps tangent here, but this is what I don't understand. Just remake the books. Remake the books with good actors and good effects. Like, do they think people don't want that? Is that not going to sell? Because these Goosebumps are selling. The Goosebumps season did well. It like showed well, I think. Anyway, so the Goosebumps movie, you had Insidious 3, you had Krampus, which is one of my favorite Christmas time watches. Michael Dougherty, who did Trick or Treat. You have Sinister 2. You have Tales of Halloween, which is a really fun vignette-style Halloween movie. The Visit, M. Night Shyamalan, which is fantastic. And The Witch with Anya Taylor, whatever her name is. Anya Joy? Whatever that girl's name is. Okay movie. Got a lot of hype, and it was just okay to me. So the movie came out in 2015. So since then, you have four. And a new one's coming out also that's not involved in the set. So you have 4 other movies in the last 10 years. So clearly, people are enjoying these movies, or maybe they're just not expensive to make. So people are just like, fuck it, let's make them. But I think the third one came out in 2018. I don't know when the second one came out. So they're all recent. They're all within the last 10 years, and so the original one is truly, in my opinion, a masterpiece. It freaked me the fuck out. The clowns, it was just absolutely terrifying. The jump cuts in the original one are with near truly, like when I say this, surgical precision. Like they were perfectly executed. The time in it was excellent. The original was about Halloween. If you guys are unfamiliar, the original one takes place on Halloween. A group of like show they a group of people run this show called Hellhouse, and they're moving it from, I think it was New York City, I don't remember. They're looking for a new location, and they find an abandoned old mansion in Rockland County, New York, nonetheless, which is where I fucking grew up. Which is like every time they say Rockland County, and the third one's like a news broadcast directly out of Rockland County, and it just like it tweaks me out because I literally grew up in Rockland County, and so I think that adds like another layer for me of why I love this franchise. But they moved this haunted house vibe kind of show to this mansion called the Abaddon Hotel in Rockland County, New York, and it's about the events that transpire on that Halloween, and the deaths that occurred on that Halloween, and what going on, and it really centers around a small clip of that night from the hotel, from the opening night of Hell House, and the aftermath, and the pre-events and everything leading up to it. And it's very, very cool, guys. And like I said, it is terrifying, and it's about the cast and crew, and the nights leading up to it, and the scares that happened before. Yet they persist and they go through with the show. But here's the thing I love the most, okay, about the original one, and you've heard me say this before about movies that I really like, is that it is very self-aware and it doesn't explain itself. And that's one of the things I thought is the coolest. It has that Michael Myers vibe where it's self-aware. It just does. This is what he is. This is what it's going to explain. Or this is what's going to happen, and we're not going to try to explain it. There's no reason why Michael can take 6 bullets. Spoiler alert, look away if you haven't seen Halloween 78. They don't give a reason why Michael can take 6 bullets, fall off a balcony, and get up and walk away. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why Halloween is such a dynamic franchise, and why Michael Myers is, in my opinion, the most iconic character of all time. It's not just because he wears a scary mask, it's because they've created this atmosphere around him and this boundary around him that it pushes the limit on what you know about him, what you think is real about him, because is he more than human? Is he not? They always keep the boundary. They always do a phenomenal job of balancing that boundary and never truly showing their card about what he is, whether he is human or not. And I think that's what makes Michael such a successful character. And I think that's what makes the first movie so great. The first Hell House LLC movie so great, because they don't explain what happens. Okay, here's what happened, and you think about in your mind why you think this happened, if there is any explanation at all, or if shit was just haunted and that's just the reality of it. And that to me is why the first one is so great, and why I love the original one so much. Again, it is terrifying, and I urge you to watch it with the lights off. By yourself or with a loved one, whatever you prefer, but definitely like with the lights off at night, where like it's the way to do it, man. If you want to like remember it like that, that's the way to do it. Anyway, fast forward to the second one that I watched last night, which big stinker for me. Not say I didn't enjoy it, because all these movies are enjoyable for me. Okay, all these movies are very enjoyable to me, and for me, and I did enjoy the second one, but it doesn't hold a candle to the first, and I'll tell you why. Similar premise in the fact that the second one follows a cast and crew from I think a talk show or like a podcast or something, and they're going to get footage in the Hell House, in the Abaddon Hotel, and it follows their journey, and it's all over the place. It's not just about them. They bring in elements from the first movie constantly, and it attempts to go into detail about the way um um it tries to explain, excuse me, what the house is. Okay, instead of just keeping things vague and leaving it up to us, the viewer, it really tries to go into detail and explain what Hell House is. Okay, with new concepts, new characters, and in my opinion, truthfully, it just fails miserably. The new characters that they created were kind of lame. I didn't really love them. The movie wasn't meant for that. The movie wasn't meant to be explained. Now, I will say, when I get to the third one in just a moment, they changed my opinion slightly. But as far as I'm concerned, this movie is best left alone in that sense. Just give us more of the original. Give us more unexplained hauntings of the hotel, with that precision timing and those absurd haunted characters like the clowns, and I'd be happy. That's really all I want. Um, the one thing that saves it, I will say, is the scares, right? I think the scares in the second one, in the second movie, are once again masterfully done. The timing's really well done on that, and the score in the second one is fantastic. They kind of take the score from the first one and they remaster it, and it's masterfully calculated at the right times, and it's very like morose and sad, and it's just a vibe. This franchise is a vibe, and I think they are very self-aware. My problem with the second one is that they try and explain things. They bring about these new characters to do so, and although a lot of things hit about it, it's just that I don't think that's what this franchise was meant to do. I think it was meant to just be this thing and let it be, right? Don't try and explain it. But anyway, so the second one was a stinker for me, but I still enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I was hoping for more of the original. Then in comes the third one, which I actually just watched like a half hour ago. I just finished like a half hour ago. And it somewhat goes back to its roots, okay, where it's mainly focused on one main aspect and team. It's a cast and crew member of a play called Faust, that have their own challenges, right, that evolve from being in the house, and the events leading up to the house. So I really like that they did that once again in the third one. It really follows back to kind of the formula that the first one gave us and what worked so well in the first one, but they bring about new and memorable characters that really play a role in this franchise, okay, that tie into the explanation. Whereas the second one, the new characters were lame, and their tie into the whole shtick was just like not really believable. If you can kind of fathom that kind of a concept, even though all this is very fictional, it wasn't really believable. It was kind of like over the top, and this franchise is not over the top. This franchise is subtle, and that's what just didn't work for me. So anyway, really what separates this one from the second one is that it gives more substance, right? It gives credence and substance to one main member of the crew in the third one that really ends up playing a big role. Whereas in the second one, no one was memorable. No one really meant anything. and the new characters were kind of things that were created in Hell House that just sucked. They weren't good, and it was too over the top, and it felt wrong to me. It didn't feel like it belonged in this franchise. The third one, once again, feels like it belongs in the franchise, but it wasn't quite as good as the first one, but I really did enjoy it. And while the third one really does tie in some of the other movies, it does so almost as like minor plot points. Right? It's not like the entire plot altogether, whereas the second one was borrowing directly from the first one, and it's kind of characters and all that repeatedly. That was something that I didn't really enjoy. You know, be your own thing. But anyway, they also tie in the previous films in very clever ways. They explain things that actually make sense, that I mentioned before. And they also do a lot of ties to other movies in this franchise. Of course, Blair Witch, of course, Paranormal Activity, 1980s The Changeling, there was some homage to. So, guys, this franchise of movies specifically, I really dug. Okay, and I really I can't recommend it enough for you guys to watch it. If you're not hooked after watching that first one, I just I don't know what to tell you. It is terrifying, really cool found footage stuff with creative scares and fun killers, fun characters. Um, Now, again, this is the Hell House LLC box set that I'm referring to from Umbrella Entertainment. It is just gorgeous. I love that you get the individual cases. I love that you get the the art cards, which I haven't opened because I just I just adore the set. I will open them soon because I do want to see these after watching all the movies. I just don't want to and then spoil anything. I got the art cards in there, and you get the hardbound book, guys. Now I've read a lot of this, and it's really cool to kind of learn about the homage that some of the movies paid to, and some of the directorial things, and some of the movies that they loved and they wanted to kind of showcase in their movie. He talks about The Changeling on repeat as a ghost story, and how that was a big inspiration for him in directing this movie. And I thought that was pretty cool to kind of hear about from the director's standpoint. What were the things that inspired him to make this movie? Because it might not necessarily be what you think. So the book was really cool. You got some essays in here. So I really enjoyed reading that. I didn't read all of it, but I read a lot of it. And so, anytime I have an opportunity to really deep dive into a movie or a franchise that I love, I just can't stress enough how much I love that. And like I mentioned, this is one of my candidates for release of the year, from Umbrella Entertainment. So I just wanted to come on here and give my thoughts, because I will be doing a video next week, I think, with Jordan on what our top releases are this year. And this is definitely in my top 5. I'm strongly considering it top 3, maybe even higher. So, now that I have watched most of the movies in here, I can honestly say that it's in contention. The other thing is, like, I'm looking at the Blair Witch set, I'm looking at the Hitcher set. There's a few other titles that are in contention, but if you're gonna give me an entire franchise, now I know the new movie just came out, but 4 movies in a box set, it might hold an edge for me. Whereas Blair Witch, yes, there's a 2.5-hour documentary, and yes, I watched it, and yes, I loved it, but it's one movie, and yes, it's the cut we've been waiting for 30 years, but it's still one movie. Hell House LLC, if it was just that first movie, it's almost like I appreciate so much getting to deep dive into an entire franchise. That means so much to me, especially when I haven't seen any of them. It's like, here's this brand new box of movies that I nothing about. Again, I had never even heard of these movies. Maybe I did, I don't know. But I when they released it, I hadn't remembered that I did. And it's like, here's this brand new box set of movies. Go forth, child, have fun. And that to me is a really cool thing. So listen, appreciate you guys hanging out. A lot more videos to come the following weeks leading up to New Year's, and then in January with all the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. If you guys could hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. The likes really help the video get shared. So that's really all I got for you guys. Rocking my new Nightmare on Elm beanie. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.